Hey, Romy.
Hey, Romy!
God damn it. Hey, Romy. Update Team Liquid, man.
We don't have the maps yet, so... Oh, we can join, so we can know.
Let's see. We're going to head to a break anyway, but
Yeah,
we want to keep you guys
the map.
informed.
We need to know
we want to build the
player,
hype.
the map Larry Lack Crest.
Okay, send Desro.
Yeah? For a snipe?
Desro has been looking amazingly good in PvT. He played some really great games.
I mean, he wasn't against a player as strong as Major, sure, but yeah, he's the Disruptors, man.
Disruptors.
The Disruptors.
The Disruptors.
They're back.
You know, they just...
On Larry Lack Crest, though, it's not as much about the Disruptors as it is about all-inning and using the overlay.
But yeah, I think Desro showed some pretty good stuff in PvT. I think it's a decent map for Zerg too in ZVT. Like, he can get some Hellion round buys here and there, but at the same time, you can't really wall in, you know, effectively as Terran. So Zerglings can be really annoying if you send Scarlets. But I don't know, I feel Desro.
Here we go. 6 seconds
Scarlet
left.
or Desro, who
Which
is going to be?
Canadian player?
Zerg or Protoss to face a Terran? It is...
Scarlet!
All right.
All right.
Big game.
Old school game.
Old school game.
So old school.
Super hype. Very excited for this. You guys, of course, cast Scarlet versus Major in last season, and here we go again, Season 3. And this is a good confidence sign too. That Scarlet's like, you know what? Yeah.
Well, let's do this. You know, no
A big map, a lot of bases. Send me out.
Send me out, boys.
Sign me up.
I can still build Mutas, Ling, and Bailings, right? Yeah, I think I can take it out. You know,
I'm excited for this. This is going to be great. We are going to head to a very, very quick break to allow the players to get ready and into game. Then when we come back, Scarlet takes on Major. Hype!
Press start on my K-cup. Think about the time you take up. While you put on your makeup, but that makeup don't hide those lies you tell. We go round and round on this carousel. I can see the signs, baby, you can spell. Being with you is H-E-L-L. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Ain't it funny how all the games played out? Like I don't know what you're doing when you stay out. Trying to lock me down, I had to break out. Cause you lie, repeat, rewind, retweet, then act like hoes that you see on TV. What a crying shame, with a body on that frame and a half a brain. Damn.
All right, welcome back to NationWars 3. Well, Todd is very busy right now as he's trying to make fun of Apollo. I'm sure you guys will see this later. So we're getting ready to hop into our third game of the day. Drogo has joined us. How are you, Drogo?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good right now.
Yes. You look a little sleepy. Have you been lathering till 6 a.m.?
I've been lathering until really late. Yeah.
6? 5?
Nah,
4?
not,
3?
not 6, not yet.
All right. Well, as we are getting ready to hop into the next game, let's get a few words of Scarlet first, as of course we're very excited to see what she has to say about this.
You're representing your country, and it's more about like pride of your nation. So it really gets people, fans cheering for their country, which is, of course, sometimes that happens, like you're cheering for a player from your country, but it's different. Playing in front of big crowds is always amazing. I haven't had the chance to do so in a while. I haven't been playing StarCraft this year. But also I really like Paris as a city, so playing in front of a crowd again would be great. Of course, playing in Paris would be great. I've never played a tournament there. So thanks everyone for watching. I know it's been a long time since I've really played in tournaments competitively other than a few show matches, and I'm hoping I can show some good games again, and I hope you guys are still cheering for me. So yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll try to do well and represent Canada, win the tournament, hopefully.
Oh, we'll always be cheering for you, except when you play against the Netherlands, and obviously I'll be cheering for the Netherlands. But
Trying to do well, represent Canada and win the tournament. I think that's those closing words summarize pretty well what Canada would like to do here in Scarlet.
it's going to be played on Larilla Crest, my favorite map in the current map pool, for ZVT. Drogo as our resident Zerg expert. How do you like this map in ZVT?
I feel like it's good for aggressive players in general, you know?
Do you have a build?
Yes, I do have a build on this map.
Say no more.
TVZ 38%, so it seems like a couple of Terrans have been struggling a little bit on this map, but we'll see how Major is going to do. This is a very classic traditional matchup, guys, between these two players that have been very dominant in North America for an extremely long time.
Yeah, it's an old school matchup. Yeah, like you know, we already mentioned that with Apollo earlier, but yeah, they've been around forever. These two, we've seen them play in quite a few times before. And it feels like they're a pretty good match for each other. Of course, you know, with Scarlet being a lot more inactive, you know, and semi-retired. I don't even know what to call it. Maybe it shakes things up a little bit, but we've also talked about how Scarlet, you know, when it's important, when she's motivated, she has a high potential. So she has a raw talent, you know, that not too many people have. So it's going to be interesting to see if she can make this a close matchup here.
As only active pro gamer on this desk, Drogo, have you been hearing anything about Major? How good is he truly? We just saw him in that previous game in the PvT, and he looked pretty sharp, pretty on point. You know, there was nothing too crazy about it. But have you seen games of him? Has he been asking for custom games to you, or maybe Lilba or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually pretty active. You know, we have a little bit chats with a lot of pro gamers in there, and it's fairly active, asking a lot of questions to Marianne, like discussing strategies all the time. So I definitely think he's playing Legacy of the Void a lot right now. It's probably going to show in this match.
No, it's a big one for him and for Mexico. He's, of course, spawning on the right bottom side of Larilla Crest. It is Major. I love how he's spawning in green. It's the only way to do it when you're representing Mexico. And on the left bottom side, we're looking at the main base of the amazing Zerg player. It's Scarlet herself. She got a trophy, guys. She's got a trophy. She's been lathering.
I don't think that with these positions, like Scarlet will be too happy in terms of how much pressure she might be under. Then again, doesn't necessarily have to try and play, you know, longer game, the 4 or 5 base fully saturated. She can be aggressive herself if she wants to. What do you know? Imagine Scarlet went for some kind of Roach Ravager, like huge attack, thinking that Major can go for 3 CCs. I feel like she's one of the last few players he'd expect that from, because she didn't used to hold in all that much, if ever.
Yeah, almost never. This is one of the better maps, though, for those kind of builds, at least in Zerg vs Protoss, and I'm sure that translates to some degree to Zerg vs Terran as well, but we'll see what Scarlet, her approach is going to be for this match. I'm pretty excited, man. I think this is a very big one as well. I think the winner of this match in particular is putting themselves in a very good position to take the entire nation war here. At least this nation war between these two nations. Not the entire tournament.
Yeah. Like in this position, Major is not going for a Reaper craziness with 3 racks, so it's only 1 wax with Reaper. Probably gonna follow that up with a factory, I'm assuming. And in this position, something really aggressive, like Elbat's Medivac, for example, will be really deadly because it's just so close.
Yeah, and we know that Major has a lot of aggressive builds up his sleeves as well, at least in the past. I think this is the very first game that I'm casting of Major in Legacy of the Void. Of course, we haven't really had a whole lot of big tournaments yet in North America, so we didn't have a big chance to see him. He's never been the type of player to sign up for every small online tournament, to be always there. But whenever it matters, you know, when the IEM qualifier starts kicking in, that's when you're going to see quite a bit more of Major again.
Yeah, Major, it's funny how actually, even like in terms of builds, he's the kind of guy who has like mostly 1 or 2 main builds that he likes, and he disses every other build. So, you know, mentioning with that he didn't go for the Reaper build here, I'm pretty sure he watched those games of Marino. They probably went like, ah, yeah, that's really bad. I would never do that. But that was pretty good back then, to be honest.
It worked pretty well for the Frenchies, didn't it, Drogo?
Yep, it did.
So far, this Reaper didn't really get a whole lot done. Good micro so far by Scarlet. She's on point with everything. Speed is going to be the follow-up for her. So if there wouldn't have been multiple Reaper aggressions, she would have been able to deal with it. But nothing to worry about for now. Overlord didn't see a whole lot, I believe. What did the Overlord see? Well, it saw the factory. It saw the left refinery as well. No idea about the right one, but may expect it.
Yeah. If she saw that if she saw the second geyser, she might expect something a bit aggressive, like not a fast first CC. But she doesn't have this info, so I'm a little bit scared for Scarlet right now.
She's going up to 3 bases, but with speed, I think she should be all right. We'll see. So far, the single Reaper is more of a nuisance than anything else. Doesn't really get close to killing anything. It's a double Widow Mine opening over here for Major. I'm quite surprised to see that. Curious to see where he's going to go with it.
That's pretty fancy. I like it.
Yeah, it's fancy against Protoss, Rogo, when we lose our entire mineral line. Against Zerg, I guess it is more of like, if Major's opponent would be aggressive, then mine's obviously a very good thing to fall back on. It's great against Roach Revenger, and if the opponent is not aggressive, well, then you can always try to do some damage with it.
I like what Major's doing here with the creep. I mean, Scarlet we're talking about, one of the best creep spread in the world. She won the National Creep Spreading Championship in 2012.
And
So to
2013.
speak. Yeah, every year. Actually, yeah, no, she's very good at it. So you need to delay that as much as possible. Let's see those Widow Mines.
Yeah,
some body shots.
not a single Spore Crawler over here. First Spore is going to go down. My first mine will shoot, just connect with a couple of links, but it's a decent start for Major. There's no detection in the main base as well. A couple of Marines being dropped. How much damage will... He has to be careful. It might actually splash all over the Marines. Oh, that's very well done. I like that. Very good burrow and on-micro wall. Oh. That's what I was worried about before. I don't think that's great damage, in all honesty. It's like decent, but I feel like you need more if you go for an opening like this.
Oh, he's doing all right though, Major with the walk account, 37 to 42 drones. Double upgrade time.
Yeah, but Scarlet knows that she has a lot of freedom by now, so she should be able to squeeze out quite a few drones. The Banshee follow-up is going to be a little bit more intimidating. Did the Spore Crawlers finish up? Well, she has one, which she repositioned, so she's going to have to reposition it again.
This could do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah,
Banshee, Hellions, one Reaper, and even a Medivac here to help healing that one Reaper.
Yep, and there is no Overseers out. But so far, these Lynx actually doing a really good job trying to get the wraparound. Didn't get it, but at least push these Hellions back. It's pretty good defense so far.
Cloak's gonna finish here in a second. I'm a little bit surprised that Major hasn't tried to attack the third base instead. Where are you going? You're drunk, Hellion. Go home.
Let's start driving if he ever manages to get a driving license. One day, right, Todd?
Bellingness, did she forget Scarpace? Like for the longest time, it seems like Scarlet was like in full crisis management mode, so she didn't start Carapace as quickly as she started the melee +1, so that's gonna delay her upgrades a little bit. But with the Spire now starting, she's almost reached the point where those Mutas come into play, and we know how she does love that.
Yeah. So far this game.
Oh, the Banshee! The Banshee in the natural! Move your Spore! She's doing a massacre.
Oh, damn.
Banshee's indeed getting quite a few kills. The Hellions haven't really connected a whole lot yet with anything though. The other Banshee's still alive as well. Great micro so far by Major. Kind of love what he's doing. He's really like, it's starting to rack up, man. It started off with just a couple kills, but now we're looking at 10, 11, 12 drone kills. Scarlet still 4 workers ahead, but that's not great when you're playing Zerg versus Terran, especially not because that third orbital command is flying over right now, trying to get into position. Major with some pretty solid harass/aggression so far.
Yeah, but right now we see Aspire, and this game really plays out like an Heart of the Swarm games. We don't see a single Ravager, we don't see a single Liberator. These guys, we're just playing like the good old times.
Yeah, in TVC you don't really see, I think, all that much difference. Like, it wouldn't make sense to go for Cyclones unless somebody uses a lot of Reapers. Then it's kind of the same. Maybe late game, I guess if the Zerg's really ahead, you can go for Lurkers, but a lot of the time it doesn't really make sense.
It may have something to do with Scarlet, her lack of experience in Legacy of the Void as well, though. Don't you guys think so?
Yeah, I definitely think she's going back to the basic. And in this situation, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest, because like the counter to Mass Mutalix now is Liberator,
Wow,
but
4th base.
Major doesn't have any, so it should be alright to make Zergling and Banelings on Mutalix right now.
Major put some really good work into stopping the creep spread. Scarlet is like, alright, you want to play like this?
Yeah.
Stop this!
Yeah, she did an amazing job in not losing any queens. She lost drones, but she didn't lose queens, so that's going to help out quite a bit eventually. But Major did an even better job at keeping all his Banshees alive, and he repaired all of them, something we didn't really mention.
Challenge accepted, here we go again.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty intimidating push. The first Mutalisks are on their way, 8 Banelings are morphing, but Major is doing a really good job in just denying this creep threat and
Mutas in the
spreading
third
out of
base.
control.
Turrets are a little bit late here. He mistimed those Mutas.
It's doing some work, but I think if Major is able to deny the 4th hatchery...
Oh, the army of Major is going to be caught. Scarlet knew that Major was looking back at home, so she engages with Banelings. Kills a little bit of the ground. Queens are going to do well against the Banshees, and she pushes Major back.
Yeah, kill the Marines, that's most important. Like, the Hellions are not that big of a deal anymore. These Banshees are all still alive, but the Mutalisks are just going to chase them down. Very well done by Scarlet, because if these Banshees would have been working on that 4th hatchery would have been gone for sure. Instead, it was just a single Reaper, and now with these Mutalisks chasing down the Banshees one by one, that's actually extremely well done. I love it.
What's the upgrade that Major is making right now? The Micfield Accelerator upgrade for Cyclone. Is that a misclick? Because
Yeah, must be.
yeah,
There's not a single...
I think
he wanted Drilling Claws.
Yeah, Drilling
Yeah.
Claw for sure.
What the hell? That's a weird mistake.
Now the scanner's gonna go down, more creep tumors get picked
Oh,
off.
this army is so scary. 77 army supply to 40, and Scarlet supply blocked as well.
Oh, that's actually very well done. One Banshee somehow managed to escape and finds an exposed mineral line. It's a crazy amount of drones over here, but without a single spore crawler. Scarlet really has to do something about that Banshee quickly, because we all know what Banshees do to expose mineral lines.
Oh.
That Cloak of the Century, though. Look.
I think, yeah, Major wants to hit that 4th base. And since there's not going to be any creep around it, like very close, it's going to take a long time for Scarlet to even get there, so... Major just looking great so far. Mutas are going to spot this.
How many
Go down.
Banelings are we currently looking at, Jon? 16. 16 might be enough to keep this hatchery alive. No, he's just going to give it up for now. We all know that in Zerg vs Terran, losing your 4th hatchery, that is a very, very big
Widow
deal.
Mines.
Oh, this is going to be a rough engagement, I think, with these mines. Should be enough to clean it up, but...
Ooh,
these mines! There are so many mines! Actually splashed most over the Manifact, so that went pretty decent.
Yeah,
but
Scarlet's
still.
on the chase. She might counter-attack.
It actually went amazing for Scarlet, which was in supply deficit before that engagement, and is
She's
now in the
doing a
lead.
lot. Even in the middle of the
Yeah.
map, like behind this, she just killed like a lot of Marines with some Banelings. Now she's got a good supply leads. So
Careful.
losing that 4th base sucked, but she definitely killed a lot here for it.
And the 5th is almost up as well, so I guess you can just transfer a couple drones to that 5th base. It's gonna be hard to prevent that base from taking damage though from drops, because Major can just, you know, shift click its drops
Oh.
across the map.
We don't mind on the left-hand side, Scarlet. Okay, she sees it. Buda's still looking to harass. Major, I think, had anticipated and start some turrets, but
So
one of
many
those gonna be
Mutalisks.
cancelled.
16 Mutalisks. It's gonna be very, you gotta be very careful with those.
Scarlet's about to be on 5 bases here, with retaking a 4th and taking that new base on the top left, so I can't believe actually, like, it looks so chaotic and scrappy, but somehow she's managed to stabilize here in this, and Major, his 4th base is gonna be slowed down. There's an overlord dropping creep there where it's supposed to be, so Scarlet's looking pretty good.
I guess for Major, it will all come down to getting one major battle before Hive is done, before that Ultralisk event will truly start pumping out the Ultras. If he can get a fight before Ultralisk, then I think it should be good for him, unless he fights deeply on creep.
Yeah, like maybe Major was a bit too confident versus the metagame where he tried to rush Ultralisk, because Scarlet was dumping a lot of her money into actual army. So that's why she was able to deal with that push pretty effectively.
Well, there we do see that Ultralisk convert go down immediately. There are a lot of mines. Drilling Claws is almost ready. Unfortunately for Major, that's a little later than he wished for it. So not a good scam where he's going to be able to deny the creep once more. Forgets 1 2 more, but still pretty decent. Off creep.
Here we go, Scarlet going for it.
Those mines though, thought.
Left a bunch of links to tank those Widow mines.
In the end, I guess wasn't too bad. One mine got a major connection and blew up like 20 banelings. Or maybe not 20, but
all of the
definitely
upgrades in the world are starting. Actually, if Scarlet reaches Ultras, surely she's going to be in an almost unlosable situation. We've seen Ultras against them.
Yeah, especially since Major army is so Marine heavy. I don't know if there's a single Marauder in this composition.
She has done such a
I see a
phenomenal
very
job.
Okay, but there's a few.
But like not enough.
Yeah,
In renewing the tumors over and over again, that makes it so much harder for Major to put on the pressure that he would love to.
I think since Scarlet is on 5 bases, there's going to be so much gas that she's going to have to make Ultras with. So right now, she's been doing a pretty good job of spending most of that, but with Kaitino's plating starting, even getting Pathogen Glands actually.
I mean, I think Major really wants to be aggressive now. He really wants to lay down the hammer, but he just can't. He has to step too far on the creep to even get close to the natural or the third base for that matter. And going all the way via the middle, you know your reinforcements are going to get intercepted over and over again. So it's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now.
And the Ghost Academy is going down.
Ooh. The Liberators spreading some freedom on these Mutalisk.
Yeah, but
so Marine heavy. Oh my god. If
the
Scarlet gets enough banelings, make sure she doesn't die before Ultras. I really like her position. 7 infestors.
Yeah, I was gonna say that 7 infestors versus all of his Marine are gonna do wonders.
Yep, and there are Pathogen Glands already as well, so all of these infestors will have at least one fungal.
It's time to land a few 3 points.
Steph Curry with the shot. No one watches basketball here. So sad.
I'm not sure what Major is planning here. Like, surely he knows that something's up. I don't. Did he scan? Yeah, he saw the main. He saw that there was Hive and stuff, so he must know there is Ultras.
I mean, Major is starting to accumulate quite a bank right now.
Yeah.
But his actual army is not that scary anymore.
What is he gonna do though? Go
Exactly.
full turtle?
Oh, that's a decent fungal. Getting 3 Liberate. There's a couple of infested Terrans being spawned below it. Mutalisk is gonna fly in as well, but Ultralisk, Fungal Growth, what are these Marines truly going to accomplish? All these Liberators are just gonna get picked up.
Trying to bait as much energy from the infestors as they can, I guess. Here we go. Scarlet's gonna engage. The Mutas are a little bit late to the party. Actually, the entire front line is gonna die very quickly, but that goes for both players. Major just gets crushed. Look at his supply. Scarlet behind, he starts Ultras, Lynx. She might just finish it.
Just Marines is just not going to cut it against Banelings, Infestors, Ultralisk, and a bunch of Mutalisk as well. And
there's a drop on the top left-hand side that Major forgot about for a very long time. Where are you going? Not this way.
They're scared, Todd. They've seen what happens to Marines in the middle of the map.
Actually, they might catch a base about to start on the top left-hand side.
So what is Major's ideal army composition now? We see multiple ghosts on the way. I guess we're going to see a little bit of that Neil snipe in action that I still haven't seen a whole lot in this matchup. Some Terrans say it's absolute trash, and some Terrans say that it's decent.
Well, did you watch Keen versus Linok today?
No,
it was a really late game situation where Keen actually won a game when he was behind with massing a crazy amount of ghosts. So it's definitely a good unit when you have enough of them.
If you've seen it, Drogo, Major has definitely seen it. So he's probably going for it.
This planetary is going to be very important, obviously, since 15
I think Scarlet
minutes in.
is just going to attack into that new base, maybe, or into the army of Major. Trade as well as she can, remax much faster. Look at her! Mineral and gas. She can remake so many Ultras and Links. Even the Mutas harassing that base on the top right-hand side.
1 or 2 Ultras get picked up immediately. Mutalisk doing some work. I'm still very worried. The mines. Oh, that's so well done. Triggering all the mines on just a couple of Zerglings. Very well done. Oh my god, Major is locked out. He can't defend his fort base anymore. All of these ghosts are suddenly in a very tricky position. That's a crazy move. Oh, I love it. That was so well done.
Yeah, that PF's gonna get blown up pretty much instantly. Mutas coming in there. Fungal on these ghosts. They're gonna go down as well. Scarlet not giving any time to Major here. And now she can just go to that top base and crush it.
What a great move. The entire army of Major was just not able to participate in that battle.
She just wants to engage into the main army here.
The real main army is still running around, running circles around those rocks. It's terrible.
Major, oh my god, he's taking forever to come back. He can't even steam. Like, it wastes so much hit points if he did. But these infestors, definitely pretty deep behind enemy lines.
Well, all of these Mutalisks are starting to work on these medevacs as well. Finally, these Marines and Marauders are starting to show up. I'm not sure how many Ultras are remaining, so maybe Major will be able to stabilize.
Scarlet is so rich. She doesn't care. Even crease spreading through this, like...
Oh, well, this is kind of expensive, though. No matter
No
how
burrows
rich you
this
are.
whole time.
Losing 3 Ultras and all those Infestors, that's never nice. But in the end, still 60 supply up.
Yeah,
And all the bases in the world. Look at the macro.
I'm very
Scarlet.
worried for that PF on the top right-hand side. That last huge mining base that Major has right now. This guy's
Concussive
trying to
shells at the 17-minute mark.
have burrow as well, same time. Better late than never, that's what they say.
Never late is better, Todd. That's what they also say.
In this game though, I guess. It was pretty scrappy, like a lot of action. Definitely a forgivable mistake for both of them to like delay their stuff.
Look at the creep spread, by the way. It's just all over the place again, despite the fact that Major did such a phenomenal job in denying it early on, over and over again.
Nice little drop at the top here by Major, but what is it really gonna do? Slow down Scarlet a little bit? She's just gonna push it back, restart mining from that location.
She looked so good this game. I'm very impressed. Like, it's kind of what I think Hux, Desru said it as well, that C will always be good no matter how much he plays, but this game C looked very, very strong, just from start to finish. I don't think there was one moment where we were like, C's about to die. Losing that 4th base, that was bad, but...
In the start there was a lot of mistake, I think. Like, it was very scrappy, that's the thing though. Like, it wasn't like one of those games where nothing's happening and she's failing on macro. She was actually having a lot of stuff to manage. That turret just won't die.
Does he have building armor?
One turret is all you need.
Well, I think eventually the turret is going to die, and all the SCVs have died as well. These Mutalisks got +1, I believe, so they're doing a little bit of extra damage, and they got +2 armor as well. That's actually very big.
Great Aspire on the way now, and Scarlet, she's just got so much more supply. The income of Major is just wrecked. 38 SCVs. It's just broke.
Just got +1. My eyes are not that great, guys. I misread the upgrades. But yes, Todd, you're spot on. I mean, Scarlet is incredibly rich. Still 1,400 gas as well, despite losing all those infested.
She's toying with her food, I think.
Look at these queens, Todd. They're still spreading creep, just because.
Until the entire map is covered, I will not attack.
That seems to be the plan right now.
It's actually more impressive since, like you said as well, this has been a very scrappy game with a lot of action, a lot of back and forth. A couple of Fungos could connect with the entire army here. And that pretty much has to be it, right? GG. Wow. Scarlet was so good in this game.
Yeah. Like, it was a game like in the Turtle Swarm, Zergling building a Mutalisk, and like reading a bike. She didn't forget it, and she won the game pretty convincingly.
After Huck lost that, I really thought that Canada was going to be in trouble, but Scarlet shows up, and so far she saves the day here with a very important map win against Major. So now it's going to be Jim Rising coming out as next player.
I guess it is the same as in Heart of the Swarm, except that your ultras are a little better. So once you get there, it's truly a Christmas time. Christmas party. Jim Rising is a very good Zerg though, and a ZVZ can get tricky. It's a matchup that I do think has changed quite a bit since Heart of the Swarm, since we see Ravages in pretty much every single ZVZ right now, and the opening.
Look at this guy. Shout out to Nate.
That mug though.
Watching Oracle die without dealing any damage. Just like in your games, Nate. Just because you're